Hello teacher, so we are from group 2 and there's me, Bong Sinh Hu and the T. And we are going to cover these 3 points and I'm responsible for the first one. So the first one is about the element or purpose from the video and which element interested us the most. So the video mentioned many things like doing rescue exercises, preparing for in case there is a disaster. By doing that, they had to make a scenario and make it look real. And ASEAN also tried to ensure that the region can remain in peace by providing a solid foundation for economic development and socio-cultural, like the Treaty of Amity and cooperation in Southeast Asia. Those treaty and amity help to strengthen the relationship of all countries in ASEAN. And the relationship of Southeast Asian country is one thing, but they also try to deepen the relationship across Asia and the world as well, so that as the ASEAN community can become a more reliable player in the global community. And one more thing, ASEAN also try to promote the protection of human rights and fundamental freedom as mentioned in the ASEAN Charter. So out of all the elements, the most interesting element to our group is the resilient region or resilient community. We found it fascinating because of ASEAN try to be flexible as possible, like the way they do the practice in order to prepare for all the disaster that might come one day. And the ASEAN community also try to become more stable, peaceful, and will always be ready for the worst to come. So this resilient region can make people in ASEAN feel more safe and have trust in the community, and that was the point that interests us the most. So this is the first point, and now on to Bong Sinh Hu.
Good morning, lecturer, and hello everyone. So today I'm going to present you guys about the explanation of an element of ASEAN. So I decided to choose resilience as the main element. First and foremost, we need to clarify the definite meaning of resilience based on a research conducted by Cambridge University in 2010. It stated that resilience is referred to as the ability to recover after a difficult occasion. In order to tackle with certain problems, ASEAN has to cooperate with one another to find particular solution. All member states of ASEAN has to be prepared to recognize the issue that they are about to be facing. At certain degree, they also have to adapt to the trend of the problems in order to terminate the issues that occur in the region as well as in the globe. In the video, the woman talked about the cooperation against natural disasters. She also claimed that by cooperating between the citizens and the member states will help to reduce the risk of non-traditional issues. According to Thmei Thmei, Cambodian Prime Minister announced that all ASEAN member states have to learn from China and South Korea because they are the leading countries when it comes to dealing with coronavirus. He also stated that the best course of action is through ASEAN plus 3 countries such as China and ROK to seek for effective solution in contaminating the spread of coronavirus in the region. Apparently, Cambodia and other countries in Southeast Asia faced with natural disaster known as drought, which happen because of climate change and could lead to dramatic decrease of economy since this proud country depended mainly on agriculture as the main course of its economy. Therefore, United Nations Economic Council, Social Commission for Asia and Pacific known as ISCAP, and ASEAN called out the countries to seek for suitable solutions against drought. Since ASEAN fought with poverty, inequality, and food security, ISCAP provided 3 priorities for ASEAN in order to deal with drought. During the session, Brunei diplomats stated that eventually will strengthen efforts on building the ASEAN community that is resilient to drought. After that, the three main priorities were brought into ASEAN Vision on Disaster Management of 2025. Looking back to the past, after the attack of 9/11, ASEAN was being more precautious toward terrorism that could happen in the region. Hence, ASEAN conducted the legal instrument known as the Declaration of Transitional Crime in 1999 in order to combat against terrorist attack in its region. After the implementation of this declaration, another declaration was being adopted to ensure the security of the region from terrorist attack. The declaration was known as the Declaration on Joint Action to Encounter Terrorism, which aimed to eliminate terrorism from the region and strengthen the mechanism in order to fight back against terrorist attack. In conclusion, we can see that resilience is the key to the foundation of ASEAN because it helps ASEAN to coexist accordingly to the world trend which lead to peace and development in the region. Thank you.
Thank you, Sinh-Hua, for your presentation of your part. Move on to the next point. So, to promote regional peace and stability, ASEAN have been active in maintaining the South China Sea, for example, the South China Sea as a sea of peace, prosperity, and cooperation. All ASEAN member states come together and try to solve the problem by multilateral or bilateral as well as negotiating. All in all, the ASEAN member states are resilient and flexible as they come up with many resolutions to tackle with the issue as soon as possible. So, the next point, ASEAN anticipate growing uncertainty in the global strategy environment and increasingly conflicts, traditional and non-traditional transnational security challenges. Consequently, the ASEAN leader vision for a resilient and innovative ASEAN have set out principles and deliverables to prepare ASEAN for the future was adopted at the 32 ASEAN Summit in April 2008. Move on to the next point. The 100 Resilient City Program is a initiative pioneered by the Rockefeller Foundation. In 2003, it has selected Bangkok to be a part of its global network, working to help cities worldwide become more resilient to physical, social, and economic shock. Bangkok released its Resilient Strategy earlier this year, with initiatives aimed to address challenges faced from aging infrastructure, climate change, and pollution. Many developing countries in ASEAN still face issues providing energy access. For example, in Myanmar, 80% of the population lack access to centralized natural energy grid. But new technology pushed by social entrepreneur can help provide off-grid energy within a period of months. In contrast to the year, it may take a public utility to build out its network to reach the rural community. According to Ashwin Dayal, Associate Vice President and Managing Director for ASEAN, for Asia, for Bangkok, the devastating flood of 2011 led many companies to rethink how climate change and natural disaster might affect the operation, but still lacking is collective action to derive long-term solution. For now, it's not just a Thai issue anymore. It's an issue where more awareness is needed for ASEAN as a whole. And this is the end of our presentation. Thank you, teacher, for your attention.